So I ended the last video by talking about this experience of eternal experiencing of now, and how most people come from the platform of the mind, that the thoughts and the feelings, the judgments, the assumptions, the perception, all of that influences who they think they are and how they think the world is and everyone in it. And when you start to investigate the mind, you start to realize that's not true, and is in fact is incredibly painful. So what most people are experiencing is pain and suffering, and it's all mentally created, meaning we think, and so that filter becomes reality. And so the filter I'm talking about is when you're having anxiety, when you're having depression, and those thoughts are usually based around that there's something completely wrong and you've got no way out. And so then you feel anxious, or you feel depressed, you feel stuck, you feel unmoved, and you can't go anywhere. The wheels are spinning and or they're not even moving. That is thinking. That is ideas in our head that we're thinking and believing, right? And creates that experience in us. We have named it something, we call it anxiety or depression, because it becomes a way of living. It becomes this thing. I either have anxious moments, or I have anxiety, or I have anxiety attacks, la, la, la. So if you investigated that, you realize it tends to fuel out of the feeling that there's something wrong. And I'm hopeless, I'm helpless to do anything. There's no way out. Meditation changes that and recognizes that if you rest in this moment and connect to this moment, and then gently remain in this moment, you start to recognize this eternalness that is happening to now. Now isn't a moment between the past and the future. Now is actually the state of being that is resting eternally, continuously here, now, present. And if you start to recognize that you're not thinking, so then anxiety disappears, depression, the label depression disappears, the cause of the anxiety and the depression disappears, because you're not thinking about something being wrong. Instead, you're resting into this moment and experiencing life from this moment, this resting in this continuum without thinking. And so you are still who you are, but you're not led or seeing your world through these thoughts or through these ideas of something wrong or something lacking or something going to get me and hurt me or whatever, all that stuff. So just that in itself is massive. Can you imagine what this world would be like if people stopped thinking, or were thinking even half the thoughts that they think, or realizing the non-reality of what they're thinking about, and then gave up those positions or that control or those stupid ideas to then recognize that they can rest into this moment and just rest here, live from here, which is peaceful and connected and celebrating life right now. Imagine if that was what people talked about and experienced all over the world, how differently we would be interacting with our neighbors, our town, the people on the street, our politicians, the communications of everything, the news, everything would be so different if the foundation that we all live in is from this moment and experiencing connectedness and peacefulness and non-duality. Non-duality means that I don't need to fight you because I'm not experiencing a separation from you. I'm experiencing a connectedness. And so that's my platform. It would be completely different. But for us to begin this journey of change, it comes back to you. Who are you being? What is your reality? What are you choosing for in this moment? Is your reality from the mind and from what you're thinking about? Or is your reality coming back to being present and recognizing the mind and those thoughts isn't truthful, isn't the truth? It's pretty exciting stuff. I wish the world to learn to be present.